Very rarely has a game's reception relied more heavily on its DLC than core game content than the recently released Star Wars Battlefront from DICE. Fans of the game praise it for having top-notch graphics, large-scale multiplayer battles, and a heaping of nostalgia in the gameplay. The naysayers criticize it for lacking the multitude of characters, maps, and the single-player campaign available in the Battlefront games for the older generation consoles. Needless to say, for the hefty $110 price tag for full access to everything the game has to offer, the upcoming expansions need to impress. The Season Pass information tells us what we can expect from the pricey DLC pack, while not going into detail on what we're going to get. New weapons, star cards, vehicles, maps, game modes, and an underwhelming 4 new hero and villain characters to play as, bringing our total to 10. I want to focus on who these playable characters are most likely going to be, and what their skill sets will involve, keeping several criteria in mind. First, DICE has said that any extra content will solely use material from the original trilogy, which really narrows down our search parameters. Those hoping to use the polished skills of a Jedi Master from the prequels, or strike down Rebel scum with your crossguard lightsaber or dark side angst as Kylo Ren will have to wait an indefinite amount of time until those films have their own game. Second, only so many characters will fit the mechanics and gameplay of the new Battlefront game. Don't expect to see Jabba the Hutt enter the fray with a blaster in one hand and Twi'lek slave in the other. These characters need to be able to move around the battlefield and use abilities fitting their character. Jabba doesn't make the cut. And third, characters that help recreate iconic battles from the original trilogy. Han and Leia taking on stormtroopers, Luke versus any of the villains already included in the game. Battlefront is all about the nostalgia of being in Star Wars, and playing as these legendary characters should be the high point of the experience. First, the 2 heroes most likely to be included in the Battlefront DLC. Chewbacca. He's a no-brainer. He's the only hero in every film from the original trilogy that isn't included yet. He fits perfectly into the mechanics, with his trademark bowcaster already a star card option. And we saw Chewie go to battle alongside Han, Leia, and Luke all the time. Chewie would make for the perfect tank build, more health than any other hero, a powerful primary weapon, with a melee move that takes out numerous enemies at once, a charged shot from his bowcaster, and recharging thermal imploders. Chewie's weakness is his reduced movement speed, on par with Darth Vader. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes, it is a toss-up between Lando and Old Ben, but Lando isn't in any iconic fight scenes in the original trilogy, save for his piloting of the Millennium Falcon in the battle over Endor. Playing as Obi-Wan gives you the ability to fight alongside Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, or against Darth Vader, recreating the epic lightsaber duel from A New Hope. Also, we need more than 2 characters that use lightsabers. He has reduced health, speed right in the middle of Luke and Vader, and aside from a timed force sprint and using a Jedi mind trick to reverse an enemy's controls, Obi-Wan can activate an ability where he blocks any and all incoming blaster fire for 10 seconds. Darth Vader, the Emperor, and Boba Fett are the only villains who make a lasting impact in the original trilogy, so coming up with 2 more villains means relying on fan-favorite and important side characters from the films. No other villain lasts more than 2 films, so these are memorable one-off characters. Grand Moff Tarkin. The only guy in A New Hope who seems to have any say in what Vader does, Tarkin is the guy who ordered the destruction of Alderaan, and despite being played by Peter Cushing, was blown away with the Death Star's destruction. He never saw battle in Episode 4, but limited to the original trilogy, we don't have a lot of villain options. Grand Moff Tarkin is a support character with an upgraded automatic pistol, a recharging orbital strike, the ability to strengthen the power and defense of troopers in his close proximity, and can heal his health slowly for a short amount of time. Bossk, the Trandoshan bounty hunter. Bossk is in literally 5 seconds of Empire Strikes Back, but unlike the other bounty hunters being tasked with hunting down Luke, Han, and Leia, he gets to growl at an Imperial officer. Bossk and Tarkin both got roles in the Clone Wars animated series, which is partially why they both make this list. Bossk is similar to Chewie, a powerful T-21B rifle, tracking rocket, personal shield, and the ability to switch to an all-out melee rampage mode make up for lower health and no jump pack. Like this list? Did we miss someone who should receive more consideration? Should R2-D2 be a playable character? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to Nerd Park on YouTube and SoundCloud, and like us on Facebook. Thank you for listening, and stay nerdy.